Right, you lot, in today's video I want to talk about Declan Rice at international level and the stick that he gets from a lot of fans when he's playing in that England team. Now, week in, week out, we see him for West Ham. We know what he offers, you know, the intelligence on the ball. You know, he's improved his passing range. He's become a little bit more box-to-box recently this season. He added goals to his game last season. Ultimately, Declan is improving as a player and he is only 21 years old. But every time he steps up to that international platform, he tends to get stick. And I kind of want to address why I think this is massively unfair. First and foremost, I don't believe the Declan we see at West Ham, we see at England level. And I don't actually believe it's because of him. I think his level of performance isn't naturally where it would be at West Ham, but I think you have to look at that system that Southgate's employing. You know, particularly against Belgium, we sat way too deep, we couldn't get the ball. You know, he's playing with Jordan Henderson, who naturally likes to pick that ball up off the centre-backs and drive with it. And England, in general, are too defensive. And Declan's not been allowed to press the play like he normally would, to move into areas to affect the game and to break up play. And equally, he's not being a defensive midfielder that he has been for West Ham in the past, where he's just sat in front of that back four. Particularly against Belgium, what you saw was Calvin Phillips come on in the second half, and because Calvin Phillips likes to just sit in front of that back four, do the dirty work, and he does it quite well, Declan was able to affect the game a little bit more, press forward. You know, that link-up play with Marcus Rashford in the second half was quite impressive. He began to put decent challenges on that Belgian midfield, tackled Lukaku. There were things of his game that were very reminiscent of what he does at West Ham. So you can't necessarily put it down to the fact that he's not performing. You have to look at the players that he's playing with, the system that they're playing with, and the manager that he's playing under before you start to criticise him. And again, there was a criticism yesterday of his performance against Denmark. Now, Gareth Southgate is employing, by the way, 3 centre-backs, 2 wing-backs, and essentially 2 defensive midfielders. And you're encouraged. Declan's not able to chase the play and cut the space and win the ball quickly, because England have to be so reserved because they've lost that man. Ultimately, now they've only got 2 centre-backs. They have to be defensive. He can't impose himself on the game. And this is also the problem. It's the perception of Declan Rice in that midfield. I understand people are massively disappointed that Jack Grealish doesn't start. I feel the same. I feel like he should have started on that left-hand side maybe instead of Rashford due to his performances. There's an argument that Mason Mount couldn't be in there, although I like Mason Mount in the midfield. But it's not Declan Rice's fault that he's not a player that's going to, cut the lines and drive at people and beat men. He can do that. That's what's impressive. He's transitioned from a centre-back to a holding midfielder to a centre midfielder, and he's been able to do that successfully throughout. And only intelligent football players can do that. But you can't ask a player who, yes, he's very good at improving his game, has shown it consistently over 3 seasons, to now start doing the job that the England team in general should do, that there should be more creativity, there should be more pace. The team's set up wrong. So when people are levelling these insults and this criticism at Declan Rice, please remember the type of player that he is, the system that he's playing in, but also look at what Southgate's picking. There could be a completely other video on what Southgate does for the England team and who he picks. It's ridiculous, it's too defensive, but to shoulder the blame at Declan Rice consistently is a little bit unfair, and it's massively short-sighted. But look, listen, that's my opinion on it. That's why I think he's been unfairly judged. Let me know in the comment section what you think. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the West Ham Way YouTube channel. Loads of stuff coming up, particularly if Said Ben Rama does sign, as well as a writer's block on Saturday. So until next time, take care.